Good morning. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Christmas break. And I just wanted to talk to you today about my journey with epilepsy. So I'm going to do a couple of videos about, sort of each part of my journey with it, going through things like diagnosis, medication, management, and that sort of thing. But the first one I want to talk to you about is how I initially started out with epilepsy. So 25 years ago, it all started then. In the year 2000, precisely, um, I was at work. I had no signs of any kind of, um, seizure activity or anything like that. I was just a regular bloke working weekends while I was at university. Um, while I was at university, obviously studying, it was kind of stressful. It was around the end of the year, so there were a few um, exams, things like that. Then the weekend working as well on top of that was, just adding to the hours that I was active for. There was no real downtime as such. So I was working on a Saturday, and around lunchtime, I was walking through the shop floor. And as I walked through the shop floor, I fell backwards. I don't remember any of this. Just what I've been told since then, obviously. And I fell backwards. I didn't put my arms out or anything like that. It was just kind of donk. I took out the Hoover display while I was there, as you do, and I had a full seizure, a tonic-clonic seizure, which involves not only losing consciousness but also having the shakes. Basically, your body, shakes and judders. So it was one of those, and it lasted a relatively short couple of minutes. I didn't. I don't. I still don't know what went on during that. I just, obviously had lost consciousness, and I woke up a couple of minutes later in an ambulance, which was called for me. When I woke up in the ambulance, I had no idea what was going on. I was confused, to say the least. I just saw, a paramedic in front of me. My brother was with me because he worked where I worked, and it was just an odd feeling of I'm kind of like almost like in a dream-like state where things are correctly where they should be. So the paramedic is in an ambulance, for example. So that's correct. That lines up with what you know. But why you're there is the confusing bit. So I thought my initial instinct was I'm here to give blood, but that didn't make any sense. I'd never given blood before. It was just all really, really odd. And they had said that I'd had a seizure. I don't recall full recollection of the conversations in there, but obviously my brother had told me, since then what they were talking about. And then I was taken to the hospital basically and made sure that I wasn't in imminent kind of risk of having another one. And so they were monitoring everything. They'd put on all the monitor pads and stuff like that, and made sure that the rest of my vitals were okay. Whether I was hydrated enough, whether I'd taken anything, sort of drug wise, because they, have concerns about those. Of course, I hadn't. Um, I had been drinking the night before. I had gone on a night out, and so they kind of put it down to burning the candle at both ends, basically going on a night out, living life to the full, late night, early morning, not enough sleep, um, basically being out and about doing kind of, night out kind of things with drinking and things. So the hospital initially put it down to that and let me go sort of mid evening time, about 6, 7 o'clock or so. And then I went home. And that was kind of that. What they did say was that I'd have to have further tests just to make sure and rule out everything. And I said, okay. So in my next video, I'll tell you about those tests and the diagnosis kind of journey that I kind of went through from there. Okay, so that's the start of it. Big seizures to start off with, big bump on my head, on the back of my head, and we went from there basically. So it's just the start. Ooh.